Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, Lucky Tremendous here, and I'm back again for a very special episode of Lucky Talks TV. We've finally reached the mid-season finale of The Walking Dead Season 2, pretty much dead already. Honestly, this episode is one I've been looking forward to for a long time just on how awesome it is. I can't wait to tell you guys all about it. Without further ado, my friends, let's begin discussing the mid-season finale of Season 2 of The Walking Dead, pretty much dead already. Glenn, at the urging of Dale, finally tells the group that the family barn is full of walkers, to their all very shock and horror. It's actually a really awesome way to begin an episode. The group inspects the barn, and Shane believes that they should clear it out, but Rick believes that they need to get Hershel's blessing since they're still guests on his property, that this is his land. But Shane criticizes Rick back for continuing the seemingly pointless search for Carol's daughter Sophia, who everybody pretty much believes is dead at this point, except for Daryl, who insists that they keep searching. But after Dale tells Shane that Hershel thinks the walkers are still alive, Shane gets even more mad because they've seemingly been living next to an idiot all this time. I should also mention that this episode actually begins with a scene from Patricia breaking chickens' legs and then throwing them into the barn. It really has nothing to do for the episode except fully showing us how many there are in there. It was just a very ominous way to begin. But as we continue on, after all this bickering is done, Maggie confronts Glenn about revealing the barn's secret to the group. But Glenn says that his personal well-being is more important than her affections for him, stating that he would rather have her mad at him alive than happy and dead. And after he storms away telling her this, she says that she's sorry, they kiss, and they eventually start dating. It's honestly the first stepping stones of Glenn and Maggie's very long-term relationship. Their bond becomes one of the strongest pillars of the Walking Dead show, comic, and the franchise as a whole. Honestly, it's one of the best relationships this show has ever had, to be honest. Carol tries to stop Daryl from searching for Sophia all by himself, saying that even she has given up hope that they'll ever find her. But Daryl gets even more mad with her that she's not trying hard enough. He eventually takes her to the edge of the farm after he calms down, shows her that more Cherokee roses are blooming. How nice. And this also helps to restore Carol's faith that they will find Sophia, eventually. Elsewhere, though, Rick confronts Shane about his defiant attitude and kind of pissy demeanor. The two argue about whether they should leave or whether they should go, if it's safe or not, and Rick accidentally lets it slip that Lori's pregnant. We need to stay. And of course, Rick heads back towards the house, but as he does so, Shane congratulates him. But he's secretly very shocked and scared by the revelation that she's pregnant, because there's a chance 50% that the baby is his. Rick approaches Hershel about the walkers in the barn, but of course Hershel refuses to allow them to harm the walkers and says that he wants them gone in a few days. I mean, I want to be mad at Hershel, but it is his farm. He has the right to do whatever he wants. Hershel, Maggie, and Jimmy bring Rick to a forest swamp where two walkers are stuck. Basically, then Maggie heads back to the house with Glenn. Hershel insists that if Rick's group is going to stay on the farm, they must treat the walkers like people. That means with respect and no killing them, only trapping them. And Rick takes an agreeance for the entire group without consulting with them. They show Rick how to catch walkers and then leads two back to the farm, one of which being one of Hershel's neighbors. Meanwhile, Shane confronts Lori about her hidden pregnancy, believing himself to be the father, all things considered. Lori defies this to the best of her ability, saying that it's not his, it will never be his, and there's nothing that he can do to change that. Shane angrily storms off, but then he's stopped by Carl, insisting that they stay and search for Sophia, even saying that what he's been boasting is bullshit. Yay, Carl is slowly becoming a man. I love it. Dale, witnessing all this tension go down, warns Andrea about Shane's very erratic behavior. But she basically states that what he's doing is for the betterment of the group, that he's doing the right thing because he's doing the hard things. I'm pretty sure it's just because she has feelings for him that she's willing to let all this shit go. After realizing that Andrea's been pulled over to the dark side, he tells Glenn to go get him some water and gets everyone away from the RV while he takes the weapons away from camp to hide them in the nearby swamp. Shane discovers that the weapons are missing and tracks down Dale, demanding that he return them to him. Dale pulls out his rifle and threatens to shoot Shane if he gets any closer, which he does, and of course calls Dale's bluff, to which he doesn't shoot him. Dale reluctantly gives the weapons back to Shane, saying that he warns him about losing his humanity, but then eventually says that he's already lost it. "This world, what it is now, this is where you belong. Least I can say, when the world goes to shit, I won't let it drag me down with it." Honestly, one of him and Shane's best interactions, combined with that from the last episode. Shane returns back to camp and arms the rest of the group, even after Maggie and Lori told him not to. He even tries to force Carl to take a gun. As all this is happening, they go to converge on the barn to take out the walkers, as Herschel, Rick, and Jimmy return with the snared walkers. Shane screams that the walkers are not people and that they're dead, shooting one of them in the chest multiple times, and then shooting one of them in the head right in front of Herschel, to which all of his family start to look sick. "Enough risking our lives for a little girl who's gone. Enough living next to a barn full of things that are trying to kill us. Enough. Rick, it ain't like it was before. Now, if you want to live, if you want to survive, you gotta fight for it. And I'll talk about fighting right here, right now." He then starts to scream, picking up a pickaxe, and starts to bang the bar door open with it, ripping off the lock and arming himself, as him, Daryl, T-Dog, Andrea, and Glenn get shotguns and pistols, and one by one start to blow away the walkers inside the barn. It's actually one of the best scenes of the entire season, maybe even of the whole show, for how intensely awesome it is. As the walkers fly out, they're all executed one by one as the others watch. As the dust starts to settle, Shane looks back at everyone and how disgusted and horrified they are at him. But then they hear one more walker coming from inside the barn. Everyone leans in to see exactly who it is, and they're all horrified by what they see. Sophia emerges from the barn, dead and zombified from a bite mark on her shoulder. The group is paralyzed with shock, sadness, and they all look on, lost, unable to act as Sophia walks toward them. Carol, tears in her eyes, rushes toward her dead daughter as Daryl tries hardly to hold her back. Only Rick is able to step forward. As the sad music plays, he takes out his revolver, aims it, and fires. Sophia falls to the ground as the camera pans up at the many battered, destroyed bodies and the sad, destroyed faces of our once beloved cast as we fade to black. Pretty Much Dead Already is a great episode. Honestly, I would say it's one of the best mid-season finales this show has ever had. Definitely in my top 3 mid-season finales. The ending of the first half of the season and then slowly starting to transition into the second half was done so well. It's almost weird that Scott Gimple wrote this episode. If you guys are watching in the future and know who Scott Gimple is, we'll get talking about him in a matter of months, I'm sure. The finding out of Sophia being dead inside the barn was a real shocker to all, especially since of how her character ended. Sophia is still alive in the comics as of right now. In fact, she's one of the only 2 of the characters left from the first storyline of the story. Only her and Carl. That's it. But she's dead here in the show. She's one of the first minor characters to die. And there are multiple things as to why that happened. Originally, it was stated that her parents did not like her filming in such a very mature environment, but yet Chandler Riggs, who is younger than her, his parents let him stay on the show. although it might also be the fact that Madison Lintz herself did not like being on the show and being away for her family from so long that she requests that Sophia's character be axed. As much as I hate how it kind of throws a lot of comic stuff away, it definitely would not have allowed so many awesome things from the show in the future to happen. So I'd say it's a win-lose situation. The death of Sophia will definitely never be forgotten. It'll be remembered in small instances here or there, and the effects of Pretty Much Dead Already will be felt throughout the rest of the season as we move forward. Thank you guys so much for watching my review of episode 7 of season 2 of The Walking Dead, Pretty Much Dead Already. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos from me, and as always, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.